Dr. Sergi Reddy is from College of Veterinary Science, Podatur, India.
Afternoon. So my presentation is on cerebrospinal fluid analysis, hematobiochemical profiling, and therapeutic studies in buffaloes with babesiosis. So in India, buffalo rearing is an important component of rural economy. So apart from milk production, these buffaloes they can also use for broad purpose and meat purpose also. So these buffaloes they are suffering with a number of diseases. So in that the babesiosis, so it is an important hemoprotozoan disease. That means it is a vector-borne disease. So here the vectors are the ticks. So it is present in the RBC of the buffaloes. So if the disease is not treated, it is causing high mortality and morbidity. So usually the buffalo cows, so they are resistant to this disease because of inverse ACE resistance, and also strong innate immunity due to the maternal antibodies. But because of some lack of transfer of cholesterol and lack of maternal antibodies, sometimes there is a reversal of inverse ACE resistance. So then we are seeing the disease in cows. So little documentation is available in cows, especially with babesiosis, with nervous signs, so in India. So the present study is conducted during a period of 1 year from January 2023 to December 2023. So during this, the objectives of the present study is to record the instance of cerebral form of babesiosis, to record the clinical signs, especially the nervous signs, to record the hematology, and also serum biochemical profiling. So, and again, one of the objectives is to record the ECG and echocardiography of the nervous form of babesiosis, and finally the confirmation was done based on cerebrospinal fluid analysis. So the infection, that means the cause infected with babesiosis was confirmed based on the identification of the pyroplasms within the RBC of the buffalo cows. So during this 1 year period of study, so out of 120 buffaloes which are suffering with babesiosis, so from that only 8 cows are showing the nervous form, that is a cerebral form of babesiosis. So the incidence rate is 6.25%. So the animals that are affected with babesiosis, they are showing the clinical signs like absence of rumination, anorexia, wobbling gait, hyperthermia, scleral congestion, tachycardia, hyperexcitability, delirium, esthesia, and grinding of teeth. So in this video is showing the nervous signs, cough which is showing the nervous signs, that is wobbling gait, torticollis, that is turning of the head, so unable to stand. So these are the clinical signs because of the cerebral form of babesiosis. And hematology, the parameters which were examined were hemoglobin, packed cell volume, total erythrocyte count, total leukocyte count, neutrophils, eosinophils, total protein, albumin, globulins, and blood urea nitrogen, creatine, potassium, sodium, chloride, and glucose. So there is in the blood picture, yes, it is showing the anemia because of hemolysis. It is hemolytic anemia, that is of microcytic hypochromemic anemia, because the parasite present within the RBC, it is causing the lysis, and they are increasing in number. That's why you are seeing the anemia, and there is a leukopenia. So it is mediated by the tumor necrosis factor alpha. Then there is elevated eosinophilia because of it is in response to the allergy. That means the parasitic response. So that's why you are seeing eosinophilia, and elevated globulins levels. That means this is because of the infection. There is rise in antibody levels. So this is like hypersensitivity reaction. Then elevated burn, because here the parasite complex is deposited at the kidney level. So because of glomerulonephritis, we are seeing the elevated burn. Then ECG was carried out while animal in standing position based on base read effect system. Here read 1 is considered as per trace reading. So it is given finally recorded as the mean values. So here in this table, the P wave, QRS complex, T wave, So all values were recorded from apparently healthy animals and also babesiosis infected, especially the cerebral form of babesiosis. So from these the interpretations were wide P wave. So this is because of atrial default. Then there is a spiked T wave and tachycardia, and that means the increased heart rate and ventricular defect. There is a cardiac arrhythmia. Then wide T wave. Then echocardiography was also conducted based on the animal is in standing position and right lateral axis. Mode echocardiography. Here left ventricular increased systole, diastolic volume was increased, systole volume was also increased. Then left ventricular systole volume is also increased. Then there is a cardiac output is also increased, decreased fraction ejection. So this cerebrospinal fluid was collected from lumbosacral junction. So the video is showing the same. You can see here the fluid is coming from lumbosacral junction, that is the cerebrospinal fluid. So here you can see the pictures of cerebrospinal fluid. The turbidity was increased because of the influx of the RBC into the cerebrospinal fluid. So in apparently healthy animal it is very clear in the top of the picture. Then the components of cerebrospinal fluid were estimated for the specific gravity, pH, total protein and glucose. Usually the total leukocyte count and total erythrocyte count was 0 in case of apparently healthy animals. But in case of cerebral form of babesiosis, we are seeing these cells. So because of the presence of these cells, we are seeing the turbidity, there is increase in the specific gravity. So in the stained picture also you can observe these erythrocytes and also WBC, leukocytes. Then the disease is also confirmed by molecular, that means by using the PCR. So the picture is showing the 56 base pairs, so which is confirmed the animal is suffering with babesiosis. So the animal was treated by using the injection dimethylnitrate and flunitrazine, dextrose normal saline and mannitol. So mannitol to counteract the glomerulonephritis, then oral glycerol and injection B complex which contains the methylcobalamin, pyridoxine and nicotinamide, and supportive therapy by using injection containing vitamin A-T3. So after treatment, there is embryo, that means the animal is responding to the treatment from the first day. So immediately after the second day, there is nervous signs were lies. Then on third day of presentation, you can see the walking of the animal clearly. So in this video, you can observe. So there you can see the first day it is showing the nervous forms wobbling gait, second is somewhat stability, and third day straight walking of the animal. That means the animal is responding to the treatment. So in this picture, that means after treatment the animal is responding. That means the erection. That means the appearance of the clinical signs. That is there is increase in the rumination. So the animal is start taking the feed. Wobbling gait was reduced. There is a fever, means hyperthermia is also recovered. Delirium, ascisia, the animal is start passing of the dung sample. Then even you can also see the hematological changes after treatment. So there is increased hemoglobin, increased packed cell volume, total erythrocyte count, total leukocyte count, and there is a reduction in eosinophil count. So some of the cows they were died. So after that we conduct the histopathological examination. So in the brain sample it is showing the vascular congestion and blockage of microvasculature in the central nervous system and microglia. That means because of the parasite invasion, the parasite is present within the RBC. So it is causing multiplication and destruction. So and there is a change in the charge of the RBC on the surface. So because of that, all RBC they are secreted into the cerebral vasculature. So because of that, there is obstruction. So vascular obstruction means sequelae is the vascular edema. So and there is a destruction of the tight tensions in the blood-brain barrier. So when there is a disruption means there is a gap, then there is influx of erythrocytes. So cerebral form of babesiosis can be reversible. So if there is no endothelial vascular damage and there is only stellate erythrocytic membrane protrusion, so these can be reversible by using fluid administration. And there is membrane glycoprotein alterations in erythrocytes because of the presence of babesia within the RBC. So these can be treated by using the parasiticidal drugs and also anti-inflammatory drugs. And here the differential diagnosis is important because the neurological signs may also seen in inquest because of malaria also, as in case of humans. So these babesia infections can be used as a role model for as in case of cerebral malaria. So the same mechanism is also happening here because of the role of COX. Here we are seeing the deposition of and that means parasite and globulin complexes at the kidney level. So in this picture you can see there is a damage to the blood-brain barrier, there is influx of RBC. So once there is influx, there is obstruction, whenever there is obstruction to then you can see the edema and nervous signs, and there is increased intracranial pressure. And finally I am concluding that the nervous form of babesiosis, so it's very rare in case of course, once it can be diagnosed by using the cerebrospinal fluid analysis, and it can be treated successfully by using a fluid therapy. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Actually, in our house, one of the calf was having this type of symptoms. So I did not know that that is due to babesiosis. So now, if any questions from the audience is there any question? Or we will go to the next speaker, Dr. Thank
Thank you, sir.